mutungamira sina njere ringori benzi harina njere Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere ringori dzoro risina njere makatipa mutungamira sina njere Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere.
What's happening, guys?
Makugura mungalidirezi Makugama pana mano maya bezi Jena ishada nesa resesi Swa imana nini kata imaka ipa grezi Makatipa dos no no Mwari makatipa zuku no no Mwari makatipa dos no no Mwari Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere Ringori benzi harina njere Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere Ringori dzoro risina njere Makatipa mutungamira sina njere Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere Dai vachibva matatu guru Kunorima zvavo nevazukuru Kotaura nyambo dzavo nevazukuru Regai wezera pinde Taneta newe mudara Regai wezera pinde Taneta newe mudara Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere Ringori benzi harina njere Mwari makatipa mutungamira sina njere Ringori dzoro risina njere Makatipa mutungamira sina njere Mwari.
All right, guys, shout out to everybody. Happy weekend. I know it's an Easter weekend. I must just say that I've been really quiet. A lot has been happening in the background, but God is good. We are back. The GEZA revolution is alive and kicking. I just want to remind you, in fact, you guys make sure that you already signed up. Did you follow on Twitter, also and YouTube channel? Because it's very important. Guys, when you are fighting the wicked, it's one thing to fight an enemy from the outside. It's another thing fighting your own brother or your own sister within the camps. It's not an easy one. It's strategy. So guys, look out for more information. Again, he's going to inform you the time, but remember, there's more to come. And guys, we may not be where we want to be, but I can guarantee you we're getting closer and closer to say goodbye to the current wicked regime from the pit of hell that we have currently. Thugs, and I repeat, you want to use the word Shigananda, I think you're just becoming nicer. No, mbava, let's use that word. Thugs, and I repeat, is what we need to do away with. So guys, like I said, follow Comrade Geza, he's coming, okay? The GEZA revolution is not dead yet. Relax, strategy. Right. I don't know why am I using the word right. I think because you use that a lot. Guys, I know some of you, it's your first time to pass through this channel. So if you just happen to pass through, please subscribe because you do not want to miss what's going on in the background. Remember, we may not be where we want to be as far as freedom is concerned, but the truth of the matter is that we are few. Okay, all right, closer to the freedom that we always wanted. Like I mentioned, guys, always remember strategy is important when you're fighting the closer wicked enemy. Okay, always remember that. So guys, please, my regulars, thumbs up the video, share with others in all your groups. Let everybody know that we haven't given up yet. Zimbabweans, this is not a political fight. I'm going to repeat. It's not a political fight. As much as people are trying so hard to label it, guys, this is a Zimbabwean fight against criminals. Let me reiterate, against criminals. Mbava, Zauranyika is what we need to put a stop to. So there's a difference. Forget about politicians can do their drama, but at this juncture, Zimbabweans, we want our freedom back. So please thumbs up the video. That's all I'm going to ask for. You don't have to put money on the table. All of you, almost 300 people, just thumbs up the video. Share with others. That's all you can do so that we move forward. Okay. I just want to say this. I don't know why Mnangagwa cannot see the kind of the caliber that we have in Zimbabwe. I'm talking about men of great minds. And when I'm referring to men of, there are a lot. But there's someone who's very distinct. And you know, I've seen him in different platforms in Rwanda. That is Brian Tamuka Gagoro. He wrote quite a very interesting piece this morning. He said, let freedom sing. The bureaucrats, chefs, and the petty political class are not chopping public money. They are not chopping, pilfering, asset stripping, or stealing from the public anymore. They are not. They're guzzling, swallowing without chewing, bleeding out, gobbling assets, grabbling, and also privatizing national assets and pen robbing the national treasury. Every cent is a target and every asset is in their sights. Every new business and every investment. This is now a continental emergency. Let's all dial the emergency number for rapid emergency response by the masses whose future are being looted. We have found the manufacturers of poverty, inequality, and pain off. I agree. These guys are not even stealing at all. No, they're just taking. You see, this is what I don't understand with Mnangagwa's regime. You know, it's one thing to do stuff when you're hiding. No, Emerson Mnangagwa don't do it. Him and these criminals, they do it in your faces. You know, it's the worst disease that can ever happen. You know, I mean, in anyone's life is kusanyara, the lack of shame. These guys are shameless. They would wear suits. When you see them holding a briefcase, when I'm telling you, you think these guys know what they're talking about. No, the guys are clueless. All they know is signing out money that belongs to the state into their own pockets. Some of them slave queens. Some of their relatives as well. They're also part of this looting cartel. But I must say this, that the Zimbabwe that is coming, unfortunately, some of you family members, you're going to be held accountable too. Because remember, if you take anything that has been stolen, you are also equal as a thief, especially money being transferred into account without no story to tell, and then you think you can just get away with it. Life don't work like that. Mnangagwa was trying his fake independence that he did yesterday. He knew that if it happened in Harare, people would never turn out. So he tried to hoodwink those that are in Gokwe. I can guarantee you so many people have been pulled across the country to come into this charade. Not only was it a charade, what an embarrassment. Millions of dollars were invested in such of a disgusting football pitch, so to speak. The chairs that they just placed, 2 days prior, everything is a mess. But Garwe is out here saying that top of the range stadium, that they invested millions of dollars. Just let me know, guys, if that's what you saw yesterday. They are no longer ashamed of their actions. These ones are not ashamed. When I say they are not ashamed of their actions. They're now looking at every Zimbabwean like they don't even understand what life is. Taking is becoming the order of the day. They will look for stupid projects just for them to siphon money out of the government treasury purse into their own pockets. And I know why they're doing so. They can see that Mnangagwa, remember, reports are out there, he's mentally unfit to remember anything. So they can all see that the guy is mentally off. So the best way we can do is we're just going to loot and he won't remember. And they're forgetting that the money they're transferring is coming out of the government purse. With that being said, there is evidence. That's how dumb they are. And all those transactions will be investigated. The people that have taken the money will be answerable very soon. So let me say it again, very soon. So the fake independence of Emerson Mnangagwa, I say fake and I repeat fake. Because if you guys saw how much poverty that surrounded him, to start from the football pitch itself, look at the police and the military guys that were busy marching. I felt for them. Don't tell me that because there was rain. Zimbabweans, until we realize how special we are, these guys would forever going to strip us of the little iota of dignity that is left. That's why for me, I've said anyone who stands against the regime of Emerson, I support. It is as simple as that, because before you know it, you and I are going to be mentally drained. The little people that have left, including those that are in the diaspora, it's a matter of time before you become drained as well. So I'm not prepared to lose my dignity because of few thugs. I'm not going to do it. So I'll stand firm and defend for the peace that we're left with, because we need to rescue this country from Emerson Mnangagwa and these criminals. And I repeat, we need to rescue this country. We'll do everything in our power to make sure Zimbabwe is back to its people. The dignity that our parents and our grandparents fought for, it has to be restored, whether the enemy likes or not. But I want you to listen to the lies of Emerson Mnangagwa that he told the people. This guy is a damn liar. He lies openly. He doesn't hide. hoping that we are that stupid that we can all believe everything that he says. Mnangagwa thinks we are joking here. Take a listen, please.
Our motherland Zimbabwe is poised for greater times. Let us remain focused, resilient, and persistent, inspired by the numerous achievements and milestones attained so far. Regardless of political affiliation, religion, race, gender, or age, let us all put Zimbabwe first. It is the only country that we call home, and which the next generations shall also call home.
I've told you the lies. He has the nerve to tell us that we need to keep Zimbabwe the only country that we have. But then he dines with some of his bodies, with Chinese people. I mean, I don't have no hatred for some of the investors who are genuine, but I'm talking about the looters that we see today. I actually saw a very heartbreaking video where people in Rua were being chucked out of their houses because the land has been sold to a Chinese guy. Guys, make it make sense. That is there any Zimbabwean who would go to China today? And the Chinese will be driven out of their own home in order to accommodate a Zimbabwean person. Make it make sense. The fights between America and China was very much interesting. That's when I saw how patriotic Chinese are. They stood to defend the dignity of their country and even the future of their children. You saw it, and they're still fighting across social media platforms. What happens? I repeat, what does this supposed to say about us Zimbabweans? Are we sure that now we've given up on the only land that we have for ourselves? We have not given it up to just other people from outsiders who can come and do as they please. I'm not saying we should never have investors. No, we should. But I'm talking about those who come in just to loot, harass our people, some of them being beaten up or assaulted right in front of our eyes. Are we sure, Zimbabweans, that we have given up on our beautiful country? That we live and be squatters in other people's land? I'm talking about across the world. While those Chinese, Belarusians, Russians can be flooding into this country and come out with the billions of dollars. Are you sure we have given up on our ancestral land? Guys, forgetting our parents, our grandparents, are we sure that we want to let this go? That even our children will never remember where their roots are? In exchange of what? Of temporary jobs? Guys, at this juncture, I think where those people, some of these guys are looting our minerals, you and I should be going back there and make sure we take over those spaces and do what we're supposed to do, building our own country. Because they are taking back to their own, while they're leaving us with Makomba, so that you and I will close on their behalf. Let us love ourselves, Zimbabweans. This time, we are going to be patriotic than ever. And I've always been speaking to the young people, especially the 90s and the 2000s and the new ones that are being born today, my sweethearts. We cannot afford to lose the little that we left with. Because you and I cannot do what we're supposed to be doing. Being patriotic means we are going to confront Emmerson Mnangagwa and his criminals. That's what patriotic means. Confronting with questions. At this time, I'm expecting Emmerson Mnangagwa to give us answers. Why is it money keep on being looted right in front of his eyes? 1.1 billion. Recently that we saw about the GEZA'S scandal. Do you know 2 days ago there was another 1.1 billion rand, no 1.3 billion rand siphoned by Guamatanga out of the Zimbabwe treasury account. And we all just watch. We don't say anything. It's like it's just gonna come as news. But the moment Trump tried with the Chinese, they stood up to a point where they told the Americans that it's time for you guys to have a revolution. And I guarantee you, one day the Chinese people are going to look into our eyes and say to us, Zimbabweans, it's time for you to have a revolution. So when the GEZA'S revolution is here, I tell you, Zimbabweans, this is the chance that we do not want to miss. We are going to hold hands and put a stop to the looting of Emmerson Mnangagwa and his criminals, the criminal cartel. We will put a stop to this Together we can. Bear in mind, these guys are not even more than 1,000. Here we are millions of Zimbabweans. We are afraid of less than 1,000 people. It can't be. It cannot be. You saw the way our people were being treated. Kupiwa chikafu pachina. Vachikandirwa chikafu mvura nemadhaka. Vachikandirwa food. We are being treated like nothing. And most of these guys, the bodies for the criminals, were sitting under the shade comfortably. You see this? I'm trying to let you understand that if we don't take back our power, no one else is going to hand it over to us. So I'm expecting you to really support the revolution, to put a stop to the evil of Emmerson Mnangagwa and his friends. We have sold out this country to the highest bidder. Today we have a new imperialist in town. The last time we talked about what if we fought Smith, if our parents stood up against Smith head on, it wasn't easy. People died. People died. What about you and I, the young people? We are seeing everything. I mean, guys, honestly, everything is up here in our eyes. We can do better. But I want to read what Hope Chingono wrote. Very heartbreaking. He said, this is what yesterday's Zimbabwe National Independence Day hosted by the country's corrupt dictator Emmerson Mnangagwa. Emmerson is the most corrupt man in town. In fact, sometimes I don't even want to discuss about Chiwenga, etc. Guys, these are just small boys. The real criminal that we need to face head on is Emmerson. It's on record. Okay, let's assume these guys are the thieves. How come he's not doing anything about corruption? How come he's just sitting back? In fact, he's on record protecting Chiwenga. I also saw he's one of his right-hand men, the first right-hand man, against supporting Chiwenga, right? What is this supposed to tell you? It means that he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He said you do not even know where to start. That is what we're watching on. It is a comical yet tragic scene to watch. One would think was coming out of a 1950s African movie, yet we are in 2025. This is Zimbabwe. There's no infrastructure, dilapidating. There is no infrastructure, dilapidation. There is no infrastructure to talk of it at all. Citizens are treated as if they are badly treated dogs waiting for throwovers. The incompetent and corrupt officials arrive in shiny, expensive cars driven on rudimentary roads. The citizens do not know any better because they have been treated this badly for decades. This is their reality. Why do we treat our people like wild animals? Why do we demean ourselves like this in front of the world? You see, for Mnangagwa and his corrupt goons, they do not care because they are not there to save the people. They are there to loot public funds and plunder country's natural resources. It is like expecting the thief who breaks into your home to care, to reflect on why what they are doing is wrong. Mnangagwa is a thief. He's surrounded by thieves. They will never care until Zimbabwe unite and fight back. Each day that goes without a real united front, the thieves grow stronger, recruiting more corrupt yet incompetent people to bolster their criminal enterprise. How does one even bother to stand there and he is a president in a country that has collapsed like this? I won't ask how he can sleep at night after this. Heartless people have no empathetic emotions. They simply don't. I agree. One of the things that I actually realized that most of our Christian, especially the Christian, because this weekend we are celebrating Jesus. So today's sleep is literally just celebrating the death of Jesus Christ. Because I am a follower of Jesus. I've been connecting the church in and out, so I know what I'm talking about. There's something that the church don't realize is, but I'm talking about the authentic one because I think almost like 80% is fake. Those that are left, that are just left with the iota of love and honesty, they actually don't realize that if they are not smart enough to confront evil in the country, they are very soon going to be worshiping the devil. Because I mean, what is spirituality if you have to subject yourself to such a torment from Emmerson Mnangagwa and criminals? What is church if Zimbabwe has to live suffering for decades? What is, don't preach to me the God that cannot rescue us from this quagmire. And I'm talking about the God that can give us wisdom and counsel to confront evil. Because the truth is that If you thinking that you are really worshiping God and waiting for him to come and save you, yeah, the God that is saving is not like that. All he does is he gives you the grace and the strength and the wisdom while you go outside and do the work. So anyone who thinks we are just going to be sitting and say, no, until God comes, he's going to come and rescue us, you will not come. You will not come. Israelites moved for decades until they take a step. Right? A woman, that was a man at Bethsaida, 38 years, waiting for someone to throw him into the water. No, until he stood up. The 4 lepers, they said, if we stay here, we die. If we move, we are going to die. But one thing for sure is once we take a step forward, we are moving closer. I'm telling the church to rise up against evil and stop sitting back and just watching for where? Stand up and confronting the wicked head on. Look, while you're doing nothing, the devil is making strides because it's very much comfortable. I've told you last time how Emerson Mnangagwa met with Auxilia. It's on record that these two met at the Sangoma because Auxilia Mnangagwa used to be Makumbi Panganga. She used to be the traditional healer's assistant. Okay, that on his one can tell you that what you see in Zimbabwe is not just what you see with your naked eye. It's bigger than that. It's a spiritual war that is real. They've sold the souls of Zimbabwe to the wicked for fame and money and things and control. In one of the books that was written by Mutambara, he actually noted that Mugabe told him that one day Mnangagwa asked him to take him to the bush. And this bush, there was his aunt. Mnangagwa's aunt, as traditional healer, used to stay in the bush, a very notorious traditional healer. And then he asked Mugabe to accompany him. When they claimed that relative of Mnangagwa, he had the spirit of Nehanda on him. On her, son, on her. This is one of the reasons why there's a statue in town. For you guys who don't know, that statue is not a statue for Nehanda. There are so many Zimbabweans who were killed during the war. So many people who were killed even after 1918. Talk about Mataveleland's massacre. You don't even talk about even Zimbabweans who were killed from the opposition side by the same regime. They are not important, but for some reason, the Nehanda thing is so special that they had to build a statue. You know why? Because this is a representation of Mnangagwa's relative that used to be a Sangoma. That's going to tell you what they are busy. Guys, Zimbabweans, wake up! Christians, wake up. Wake up, the devil you are fighting is real. It's real. It's not the one to sit back and say, no, we're just going to wait until God come and rescue us. It doesn't work like that in God's kingdom. It doesn't. You go outside and do the work while God protects you. This time, we are taking back our country and we'll make sure every criminal is held accountable. And we mean it. We mean it. Like I've told you, Emerson Mnangagwa thinks he's smart, but we are watching. People are watching every move that he makes because they think he's very smart because he's not smart. You actually saw that another scandal, and there's more of there. You don't know, guys. You're about to be blown up by the level of criminality that's going on under Mnangagwa and these criminals and these bodies. I also saw Mnangagwa's son. He's pretending, he's trending right now on social media, pretending like he's serious about Zimbabwe. He's kind of being rained in the rain, wearing these, cheap quality suit, pretending like that they don't have money to buy expensive suits, all right? And this cheap suit that he's wearing is trending, right? He's trying so much, trying to threaten us, giving this serious face. Showing Mnangagwa the serious face back at you. This time it's our destiny and your loot with your family and the criminals that you're working with that are doing your dirty work. So we're not going to be afraid with your face. You can be seen as all you want. But the fact remains, we are taking back our country from these criminals. We are not going to be abused any longer. Never, never to be afraid. We are not afraid of you. Never. But it's trending, Shoni Mnangagwa. He also tries trending for kneeling down as if he's honoring Chiwenga. But you know that Comrade GEZA came out and said his father, which means his family, poisoned Chiwenga. But he's trying to pretend as if he loves Chiwenga and like he's respecting him. Again, the hoodwink and the lies and the deception of Emerson Mnangagwa has been deceiving Zimbabweans for years. He comes out here like someone who cares. He pretends he created poverty to use the gullible to do his dirty work. Did you see that? No, he's no longer he's not clutching more on his security than he does with some of these thugs, guys who are just screaming around. We're wearing some t-shirts and the caps, I saw some of the guys who were wearing GEZA'S t-shirts and the cap that also had GEZA'S first, threatening GEZA. And I'm sitting around like, show me any gullible, stupid person who can put a cap of someone that they really hurt and be threatening the person. If you put a t-shirt with my name and threatening me, you're the weakest person. I've got the power. But let me tell you, Chiwenga's not stupid. Chiwenga's actually not even as dumb as you guys think. Because Mnangagwa was trying to either buying time or trying to buy to maybe if you happen to, because he knows that it's over. Once the deep state turns, that is it. If the deep state said we have vomited you, it is what it is, and you're gone. You're gone. It does not matter how powerful you look like you are, they'll topple you. It is that simple. But anyway, Mnangagwa's son is pretending to be this, so they shown his Collins. Collins tried to be like he's respectful. Sean on the other side is trying to be serious. He's sending a very serious face to Zimbabwe, hoping he can try to intimidate us. Sir, Sean, you are not Zimbabwe. Your family is not Zimbabwe, so sit down. Zimbabwe is for Zimbabweans. You also is a Zimbabwean that have actually destroying the country. Your family have destroying this country. And because of that, you had to be held accountable. Unfortunately, very soon, you will be held accountable. Now, like I mentioned earlier on, Chiwenga's wife, Minota, just look and they know that it's all a game. Trying to lure them closer. But you know one thing that I love about her, she's been very much involved in all these prayer sessions. She knows the enemy she's fighting is real. Yo, I can't sit here and be talking about the devil while I don't pray. No. You go to war with the enemy. You can't just come out. You can't fight this level of regime, this satanic mafia, by just coming out with the naked eye. No. You're going to fight there spiritually and you come out physically and confronting the wicked. This war is not a war to play with. A war with destiny, guys. We have lost, like, when I talk about what we have lost in Zimbabwe, I want to cry. Because today, whether you're in the country or you're not, everyone is bleeding because of Emerson Mnangagwa, these criminals. So surely, this war is not something that you can just gonna sit and say, no, I'm just gonna, let's pray and wait. No, we don't wait, we confront. There's time that we pray, and there's time that we say, how can we move? God says move, and we move. That's how it is. It is what it's all these shenanigans of trying to play games and Mnangagwa's family. Remember what Rejoice said last time? Rejoice said Mnangagwa was desperate. You will try so hard to play someone that he can also be on his side. Remember, there's been speculations of Valerio, speculations of Purata Guire, of which that one was debunked and that will never happen. Not under our watch, not in our lifetime. With Valerio as well, I don't know what he's trying to do, but one thing for sure that I know that I'm seeing, that the person that may be hailing in ZANU-PF is definitely going to be Chiwenga. It's what I'm seeing in ZANU-PF, of course. I said in ZANU-PF. So for the politicians, don't come and shoot a messenger. I'm simply looking at what's going on in the political terrain. So they're very clear of what they want. And with that being said, even Mnangagwa knows that once the deep state vomits you, it's over. That is it. It is as over as that. So days are getting closer and closer, like I said, are getting closer and closer. But it's very sad. So I must also want to say my condolences. There's a guy that is trending right now. His name is Maraba. Maraba, right? For those that know him, he lost his life. But there's a letter that was written by someone who was next to him in the hospital that I want to read for you to show you how painful Zimbabwe is. I mean, we saw another video a few days ago of another guy, again, a musician who went home to be with the Lord. I think there are so many people as we speak who are dying because there's no medication in the hospital. Guys, this war is no longer a war of saying, no, it's a political war. No, politics is smaller than the war in Zimbabwe. In fact, Mnangagwa himself is smaller than the war we are fighting. Chiwenga is smaller than the war we are fighting. Chamisa is smaller than Zimbabwe. Chakasukure is smaller than any politician you name. Chavangu, whatever. All these shenanigans of nonsense. What did I even mention is Chavangu? What would you say Chapman? Why would I mention that idiot? I mean, honestly, that idiot don't even qualify to come out of my mouth. I don't have time for that criminal because that criminal is going to be arrested. I'm talking about Chapman. There's a lot of them. Okay. Elizabeth as well, my lady, a woman, she's always like, she's trying her best. Elizabeth as well is another politician. All these politicians are not bigger than Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is bigger than all these individuals who are seeking for jobs. Why would the whole country be subjected to a person who's looking for a job? Mnangagwa is employed by the Zimbabwean people. He does not own Zimbabwe. With that being said, he's not bigger than the state that he is presiding over. So for him sitting and trying to intimidate the entire people, to subject themselves to his nonsense, it's pathetic, disgusting. So I'm here to tell politicians that you need to humble yourself. If you're thinking of leading the Zimbabwean people, do not think that you don't ever in a day think that you are better than others or you're better than the people that actually place you there. You know, there's a song that our Zimbabwean people used to sing. They were singing about Mugabe, say, Bobo, watengesa nyika kuma China, usazokanganwa tisu takagwisa, tinokubvisa Mnangagwa, watengesa nyika kuma China, usazokanganwa tisu takagwisa, tinokubvisa. In 2017, we placed Emerson Mnangagwa. I was part of the dances. So with that being said, Mnangagwa, don't be too comfortable because we are the ones who put it there in 2017. And the people of Zimbabwe are the ones that will tell you to leave. Because you failed to deliver paracetamol in hospital. Guys, when you were going to that place in Gokwe, the filthiness, Marodi, guys, listen, it's a betrayal to the people of Zimbabwe. Actually, that Mnangagwa is a president today is the highest betrayal that can ever happen in that country. That Mnangagwa is still being called a president in Zimbabwe is the highest betrayal to generations. Guys, it's a shame that we actually call him a president of Zimbabwe. It's a shame. And the guy is clueless. The guy but when it comes to looting, his eyes opens very well. If you see him having meetings, Nana Chivayo, you see him opening his eyes, trying to close. Guys, he's selling our destinies to the highest bidder. And the things that we can actually be able to smile at him. No, you must forget it. That will never happen. And not under our watch in 2025. Never. This man is going to go. He will step down. Very soon, he's going to go. That is actually not even negotiable at all. It's non-negotiable, right? None. Now, I told you that the guy that just died, incredible guy, was a comedian, absolutely incredible guy. If I read this letter, you understand my pain, and you understand the pain of everyone that you see in Zimbabwe, including you. I understand your pain. When I see Zimbabwe going mad and berserk, I'm like, I get that. That's all right, I get you. But let me read the letter of the guy that was next to his bed. He was number 9 at number 10 in the hospital. Let me read the letter. Heartbreaking letter that he wrote. So his name is Prince Nkoni Kelvin. That's the name of the guy that was next to him before he passed away. But let me read the letter. He said, it breaks my heart till my soul cry. Maraba is normal. Is normal. Passed away around 4 a.m. in the morning. We both admitted at Harare Hospital Ward B7. In bed 9, bed 10. I am in pain. He is in pain. But we could have our laughing moments, sharing food with him. Because hapana aiwea chikafu. So I decided to step up and cover the gap for him because I'm sick. Okay? When we woke up every morning, he could ask Sawira wangu tajga ere tukujge, and we both laugh tirimumarwadzo imomo. Kana nguwa ye visit yashika anobvunza Sawira hama dzedu dzauya ere inindopindura in pain. Sawira wangu dzauya asi nasi ari kuoneka nehama dzangu ndidzo dzauya nekuti dzake panenge pasina auya, right? Munhu aiuya ndisisi vacho zvepano nepano due to financial difficulties. Mu 2 weeks muchipatara akauya kanenge ka 3. So pese apa manesi ndiwo aimuona. No friends coming. No friends coming. No what food. Hapana aiuya nayo. Nobody could afford to bring food or to come and see this guy. It pains me more when Parkans and my doctor, we have discharged him. Ndikatovunza ma doctor ndikati, mukuna aende swe kupi ne condition yake, haende ku toilet, hasi kudya. Zvakandirwadza sisi. Vacho came the next morning. Zvikanzi kuti timutore pari kushayikwa $100. Saka vanga vachitozama kubatsirwa nema social workers nekurwadziwa mumoyo. Ndikaburisa $20. Ndikati sisi endai munowedzera yasara. Nasi azongomuka akanditi sawira. Listen to this, very heartbreaking. Nasi azongomuka akanditi sawira. Ndaenda moyo mangu mune ronda mwari dai mandinyaradza ndawana sawira muchipatara. Wandaiti ndikabuda muno ini newe tiri vapenyu uchava munhu wandinosha nguva paya kuti wandirwadza zoro ramurugare maraba si wandirwadza ronda rakaoma hako pa 2 weeks okay, pa 2 weeks ndakagara muchipatara tese in you. I found a brother that I loved and cared for. Heartbreaking hearts. I am fighting for my life. I wouldn't be able to attend your funeral. Asi wandirwadza sawira wangu. Rest in peace. So this guy was next to Maraba, a comedian who passed away. I'm here to remind Zimbabweans, you could not have visitors every day because the guy could not afford. You could not have food in the hospital because the hospital don't have food. I remember about 23 years ago, 23 years ago right here, when I was young as a teenager, I got very sick. And I was overnight, I think the enemy was after my life. And I was admitted in perinatal hospital. That time perinatal was just top notch. I always say to myself that I don't know if one day I'll be able to meet the lady that was a nurse. She was an albino, beautiful nurse, young nurse, who was taking care of me, amazing woman. I wish she could just maybe remember me, you know, and I don't know what I would do for that woman. But I remember that at that more time, there was so much food was there in the hospital. You would not even have a problem. People would afford to come and see you. The church would come to pray for me. But I'm thinking about the situation here of a comedian that was being celebrated by Zimbabweans. But today, here he is. He can't even afford to have food to eat. Then somebody wants me to sit here. Guys, I cursed the day that I stood up in 2017 and actually celebrated that Mnangagwa was going to be. I cursed that day, and whenever I think about it, I feel like crying. Drive me nuts, you know. I had it. I cursed that day. When I actually thought Mnangagwa was going to be. You don't understand. You really don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm becoming emotional, but honestly, it's wild. Yes. Whew, it's... Guys, honestly, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't. How do we even wake up and keep a man like this in the office? How on earth? I don't care what we guys think. And how can a paper? Okay, bear in mind with me. I don't know whatever paper that a president signs when he comes into the office to be a president. I don't know. How can a paper be more important than the life of people? You understand? How can a man who's looting the country dry can still be called a president? It doesn't make sense to me. No. How can a paper, you call it a constitution of Zimbabwe, be more powerful than the people that it's supposed to protect? And I'm saying this respectfully so because there's something not right in our country. I sometimes look at the police when they stand up and holding Matanda Chirwalan. I'm asking myself, how can an individual be so important more than the people that he should be protecting? It's the same as looking at the children dying of hunger, and the father can be more important than the children that he is starving. If we can arrest a father who abused children, or if you can arrest a mother who is abusing you, if other countries can take the children away from an abusive father, hear me out, okay, or an abusive parent. In South Africa, if you abuse your child, they'll come after you. How can a man who is stealing from the poor, Mnangagwa has been stealing billions and billions and billions and billions to a point where hospitals cannot have medication, to a point where children cannot go to school, to a point where, listen here guys, roads, people are dying every day because of accidents. That man can be more powerful than the country and the people that he should protect. No, something's not right with us Zimbabweans. No. Don't tell me it's our constitution. Don't try to tell me it's... What is it about this man? Mnangagwa, this way have a job. The guy is signing, these guys are looting in grand scale. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And they're still going to work. And Zimbabwe is still quite a person, a minister. No, something's not right with us. You don't need education from Harvard University to know there's something not right in our country. You don't need a degree. You don't need to be a professor. Surely something's not right. People are dying. I mean, comedians who are literally entertaining the whole country. You guys knew these guys. I checked on YouTube. They would have nearly about 200,000 views. But the guy died without no food in the hospital. And somebody wants to make me call Mnangagwa president. Forget it. That word will never come out of my mouth to call Mnangagwa president. He must forget it. Not me calling him a president. Mnangagwa don't even qualify neither deserve to be called a president. It is a betrayal to generations to call Emmerson Mnangagwa a president. It's betrayal. Like I said, I don't care what you can tell me. It is a betrayal. When I looked at did you guys notice that majority of people who were there by the place at the independence, these were young men. These are men that's supposed to be fathers tomorrow, who are supposed to shepherd and raise children that we have robbed of destiny. Because we, as a people of Zimbabwe, have kept a thug in the office. A thug it's clear. Because if he's failing to fire Mutoli Ngume, to fire Guamatanga, to fire his own son that he placed there as the deputy minister. If he's failing to fire ministers who are incompetent to do the job, to you, it's just show you that that's who he is. That's what he believes in. And he's just pretending, just lying to the Zimbabwean people. Pretending. I would die telling Emmerson Mnangagwa the truth than he lying and trying to deceive him like what those that surrounds him do. These guys are deceiving him. No. Yeah, right, Mdara. Stay what? Saying what? Doing what? Sitting there just being called a president. President. That culture in our country is diabolical and satanic. Many people just want to be called something, but they can't deliver. The people that are being called ministers, some of them can't even answer questions. We have a person like Jen van Muswere, who embarrassed us on the international stage, could not answer questions. He lies. He's a qualified 2 PhD holders. And the guy he does not even have it. I don't have a PhD. But I could have answered those questions better than Jen van Muswere. But he's being called a double PhD holder. Lying, fake PhDs. And you want to call that person a president who presiding such an administration. Zimbabweans, when are we going to wake up and put a stop to this nonsense, man? Man. People are dying. But 1.1 billion, 1.3 billion, Guamatanga signed recently. It's on record. They're almost stealing everything they take. And you know, I actually know why they're doing what they're doing. They remember the Mugabe administration. Remember, they came out and said, we are chasing out criminals around the president. But here's the deal. We never saw anybody being arrested. And I think that's the reason why this administration is looting, because at the back of their minds, they're going to get away with it. But this time, guys, these people who set a precedence, and I know that they're going to send their small boys to come here and listen to me, and go tell your masters that I said, all of you make sure you pay for the evil you have caused in Zimbabwe, and we will strap you naked to get every cent that you have looted for generations to come. We are not going to sit back and watch you hurting people over and over again. How can a man who steals billions of dollars be called a president? A man who presides a failed state, a dilapidating state. From the roads, it's an embarrassment. Treating people like dogs, throwing food to the people, creating poverty across the country. And this man can be called a president. Guys, please, man, please, 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 please. It's a betrayal to generations now and tomorrow. Let me tell you, I think our children are going to look back and look at us and call us fools. That we were able to keep a man who is failing to do the work in the office. I mean, really? Something has to be done. Emerson Mnangagwa, he needs to step down. Kwete Mankwana, now Emerson Mnangagwa must step down. And you know what? Honestly, I don't know which is fooling this man, because I genuinely believe that it's actually for his good to write a resignation letter. At least there will be conversations, because let him not wait. We are fed up, man. We are fed up. People are carrying their own food. You know, one of my mama told me that when my daddy was sick in the hospital, they were carrying water from their house to bath him in the hospital. And if someone wants to tell me that we have a president in Zimbabwe, when billions and billions and billions are being stolen, openly and brazenly sold, surely this cannot be it. This cannot be it, Zimbabweans. We can do better than this. We can do better than this. It's no longer an issue of me. Guys, do you know when somebody said a very strong, powerful thing? Guys, I know some of you are saying I've got my job. In fact, I'm very upset. I'm very upset with Masiwa. Masiwa sent out a comment that I hated with everything within me. That I will never comment on politics. I don't want to get involved in politics. And I said to myself, this guy is not serious. It's politics that put him where he is today. He's in the UK because there's politics that work. He is a citizen in the UK because there's politics that works. He left Zimbabwe because of the politics. So you can never say that I can never talk about politics. That is a lie. You know why? Because they think they are okay. But wait until they get involved in a car accident in Chirezi or in Nyamapanda, or anywhere, in Chirundu, wherever, in Mutare or whatever. And then there's no car, nowhere, and you need to go to the nearest hospital. And there's no medication. There's no pain ease. Let us not be selfish. Say because I've got my own $1 billion, so I don't care. Zimbabweans, we can do better. The pain of your brother is your pain. The pain of your sister is your pain. The pain of your neighbor is your pain. The suffering of your colleague is your suffering. When did we allow our society to be like this? If Zimbabwe's got good roads, we benefit from them. If Zimbabwe can have good hospitals can work, guys, we are benefiting because we can be able to keep our people alive. Let us not be this selfish. Honestly, Emerson Mnangagwa must step down now. Not tomorrow, now. And this message must get to his house. He must step down. The guy has failed the people of Zimbabwe. The guy don't have a plan to fix this. In fact, we are sinking and sinking. I've told you that at the end of it all, guys, there will not be no Zimbabwe. If we keep these criminals milking this country, it's time we put a stop to it and let's show this man a door to go. Emerson Mnangagwa must be shown at the door. He needs to go. He is not capable. 7 years is too much, guys, to prove if you're good or not. I get pissed when he protects thugs. 1.1 billion rand stolen. He doesn't even comment at all. A president of a country. Doesn't he just say, no, we don't want corruption here. Let us unite. God, you know, just woodwinking people. What kind of unit are you expecting from the people that you're starving to death? What kind of unit are you expecting from the people you treat like dogs? What kind of unit are you expecting from the people you chase out of their own country, but you're busy embracing the outsiders and eating and drinking? What kind of people are you expecting to respect you? When most of our brothers and sisters are sleeping on the streets, even in Johannesburg, across the world, Zimbabwe, some of them are suffering. And you come here and say you want us to unite. With who? With you. It's nonsensical. The man needs to be shown the door. Now, Emmerson Mnangagwa needs to be shown the door. This is not politics. This is right to do for the sake of generations and all those that are suffering today. We cannot make the entire country suffer because of one man who just won a title of being called a president, but has nothing to offer. Aye, guys, we can do better. Fathers, mothers, I'm begging you, do right by the people. Do right by the children. You can do better. Those that place Emmerson Mnangagwa have to do right and call him to order and tell him to step down. This is no longer I say change. He cannot change. He doesn't have the capacity to change. He's shameless. The guy, he is shameless. He deceives people. He lies. Emmerson Mnangagwa must step down. Not because of politics, but because it is right to do, to save Zimbabwe, to save our people from pain, to save our people from suffering, to save our children from losing destiny. Kids are not going to school. He's looting every cent. It's no longer an issue. No, guys, 1.1 billion loot on a go is worse than the Satan, Lucifer, the devil himself. In a country where people cannot have water in hospital, where people can use a torch in the hospital because there's no electricity. You guys, I think you deserve firing squad. It makes sense what happened in Rwanda. It makes sense, man. Because this level of evil is too much. They deserve firing squad. They're very lucky if they don't face firing squad. This is not it. It can't be political. That's why when I hear people talk about, oh no, it's about Chiwenga and Mnangagwa, it's nonsensical. These statements are coming from Mnangagwa's people. This is a battle between Zimbabwe's destiny and criminals. It's not a battle of politics. Mnangagwa is not bigger than Zimbabwe. Chiwenga isn't bigger than Zimbabwe. Chamisa is not bigger than Zimbabwe. This must be known by any politicians who desires to have a position in Zimbabwe. You are not bigger than the country itself. How can one man, one family, few individuals destroy the country to this extent? Where are we going to start when we build the walls? Where are we going to start? Where are we going to start? Why do Zimbabweans always be the ones who need to suffer? Today we have to close China. Why is it our people always be the ones who need to suffer? Why? What did we do to deserve this? Why is it our people have to be the ones that need to suffer? Our children are leaving the country to go and be desperate in different countries. Destitute today. Some are sleeping in buses. Our people are leaving their own country, but foreign nationals, some people, their bodies are coming in, walking away with the billions and billions of dollars. Why is it the Zimbabwean people are the ones that are always have to suffer? Why? Why is it the marriages are being torn apart? Children can't go to school because we are protecting a few individuals. Why are we doing this? I don't understand why. And I'm talking to the fathers. I'm talking to you. Why is it our people, some of them can't even bury their parents today? But I don't understand what has come on you, honestly. What is it that has come on you? What is it? Emerson Mnangagwa needs to step down. He really has to step down. Even, sir, you need to step down. You're very lucky that I actually call you sir. You're very lucky. You don't deserve no respect. You do not deserve no respect. Even Auxilia Mnangagwa, you don't deserve respect. You don't deserve respect. Not after what we went through with Mugabe and how our people were killed. Today we have Dara who is in prison. An innocent man, not Dara, a lot of our brothers and sisters who simply went outside to say, they are crying for a better life. And you get to be caged for simply speaking your truth into power. I have lost my respect for Mnangagwa and his wife, Auxilia, and the children. I lost my respect for them. So this coming out and trying to scare us is nonsensical. Zimbabwe is our country. It's the land of our ancestral fathers. We are not going to be bullied by anybody. None whatsoever. Never can you bully us. Now you ran away, you are not in Dubai. Because you know that you have been caught in South Africa. If you can't put your foot in South Africa because they will lock you up. It's about time. Shame on you. Fathers, shame on the judiciary. Shame on this Zak nonsense. Shame on Zek. Shame on everybody who have caused pain to the people of Zimbabwe. And my prayer for you is you need to have your day. You must have your day where you taste what pain feels like. And that day is coming. It is coming. It's very close. It is coming. Guys, like I said earlier on, Comrade Geza is alive. The Geza revolution is alive and kicking. Musa thinks it's nonsense. It's political. It's nonsense. It's not politics. It's Mnangagwa's message. Try to dilute the revolution. We want him and his criminals to go. It's as simple as that. It can never be defined any better. We had enough of these criminals. We have heard enough. They not only loot, they loot brazenly. Openly so, and they eat in your faces. Imagine buying cars for people when in hospitals people are dying where there's no water, where there's no electricity. What kind of wickedness is that? And you want to tell me that even those pastors who are receiving, sometimes I've got mixed emotions because I understand that if they don't take this, some of them can be harassed. It makes sense. But I'm waiting for a day that all of us can hold hands, be it a pastor, any citizen, and say, we have had enough of this. This is we need to stop the evil that's going on in our country. But it takes all of us to hold hands and say it is enough. Guys, I know you're going to comment in any way that you want. Please share with others. The Geza revolution is alive and he's coming. Please make sure you follow on all social media platforms. And trust me, Emerson Mnangagwa is going. Emerson Mnangagwa is going. His criminals are going to be held accountable. That's all I can say for now. I can't give more details. I'll see you next time, guys. I love you. I bless you. And please share the fire of love wherever you go. You can never be too comfortable and say, oh, no, it's not me alone. No, no, no. One is Zimbabwean. It's all of us. So it's us, the Zimbabwean people, who are suffering. We can never think that someone else's problem is, oh, no, we don't do that. We are going to hold hands and make sure everybody get to live a life that they deserve, a life of a human being. All our people in foreign lands must come back and build their country. Those spaces where foreigners are milking, our people need to go back and occupy those spaces and do the work and rebuild their country. You heard what Chinese people say, that we're not only selling stuff, we also go back and invest in our people. This time, I'm not going to wait until the Chinese people look squarely in our eyes and say, you were stupid. You need to do a revolution like they told America. They're about to tell us in our faces to say revolution to free yourself. Guys, please, I'm begging you, brothers and sisters, we need each other. This is a time where we will never allow Mnangagwa to get away with this. You must go, and you must go now. I love you, bless you, and bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.